Typhoon Bavi became one of the most powerful weather systems to impact East Asia on July 11, 2026. After moving across the western Pacific Ocean, the storm brought heavy rain, strong winds, and high waves to southern Japan and Taiwan. Although the typhoon's main path was north of Taiwan before moving towards the east coast of China, its impact was felt widely, especially in the Sakishima Islands in Okinawa Prefecture and the surrounding Taipei area. In Japan, the islands of Okinawa Prefecture were the first to experience the extreme weather conditions. Ishigaki Island, Iriomote, Yonaguni, Miyako, and several other smaller islands were battered by strong winds that lasted for hours. The powerful gusts caused numerous trees to fall, branches to fly, and several roads to be blocked by tree debris. Cleanup teams and emergency personnel were immediately deployed to reopen roads so that people could gradually resume their activities.
Oh my god! Wow! 你看它冲那边哦，你看它直接冲到这。
In addition to downed trees, the winds also dislodged several billboards, fences, and light outdoor objects. Residents were advised to remain indoors while the weather conditions remained dangerous. Local governments, along with the Japan Meteorological Agency, continued to provide updates on the typhoon's path and warned the public to avoid approaching the coast due to high waves and strong currents. Airports in the Okinawa region also experienced operational disruptions. Hundreds of flights to and from Japan's southern islands were canceled to ensure the safety of passengers and crew. Several ferry services were also temporarily suspended due to unsafe sea conditions. This transportation disruption forced many tourists to reschedule their travel plans. In several residential areas, large fallen trees temporarily blocked vehicle access. Some power lines were disrupted by tree branches hitting power lines, resulting in temporary blackouts in some homes. Electricity company personnel worked around the clock to restore power as quickly as possible. Fortunately, most of the disruptions were gradually resolved as wind conditions began to weaken. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, although Typhoon Bavi's center did not make direct landfall, its circulation still brought heavy rain and strong winds to the northern region of the island, including Taipei City, New Taipei City, Keelung City, and several mountainous areas in the north and east. The Taiwanese government had issued various weather warnings several days in advance to give residents time to prepare. In the Taipei area, strong winds caused numerous trees to fall along city streets and parks. Several large trees toppled as the soil became saturated with heavy rain and strong winds. City officials moved quickly to clear the tree trunks and branches to allow traffic to return to normal. Although some roads experienced congestion due to the cleanup, the situation gradually improved as the weather subsided. In addition to fallen trees, the heavy rain caused flooding on several roads. Drainage systems were functioning well in most areas, but some low-lying areas experienced temporary water accumulation. Local governments continued to monitor river and canal conditions to anticipate increased discharge if the rain continued. As a precaution, many schools, government offices, and public services across Taiwan temporarily suspended operations. Numerous domestic and international flights were canceled, while train and public transportation services adjusted their schedules. Thousands of residents living in mountainous areas or areas prone to landslides were also evacuated to safer locations as a precaution. The unfavorable weather conditions also impacted economic activity. Some shopping malls opted to close early, while traditional markets experienced a decrease in visitors. Meanwhile, residents used the time before the typhoon approached to stock up on essentials, drinking water, and emergency supplies as part of preparations for possible service disruptions during the storm. Although Typhoon Bavi caused disruptions in Japan and Taiwan, government and public preparedness is credited with helping mitigate the greater impact. Regularly updated weather information from the meteorological agency allowed residents to stay abreast of the situation and take early protective measures. Meteorologists explained that Typhoon Bavi was a very large tropical system with a wide area of rainfall. Although the center of the storm was quite far from some areas, winds and rain could still reach areas hundreds of kilometers from the center of the typhoon. This is why Okinawa experienced very strong winds, while Taiwan continued to experience heavy rain and strong winds even though the storm moved north of the island.
过去那是平常底下地掉的。哇！